Hey y'all, Jim here with Sunrise Farm. Thanks so much for stopping by. In today's video, we're going to be harvesting our turmeric. I have 21 turmeric plants here that I had planted 21 rhizomes, and I have 21 plants, so that in and of itself is a great start. Turmeric is a long season crop. Today is Sunday, November 24th, and I planted these back in mid-April. So here we are. We just had our first real kind of frost last night. It's a brisk day, beautiful sunshine day in the 40s right now. And so we're going to be harvesting turmeric. This is my very first time growing turmeric. So we're going to see what kind of results we get. And I just thought I'd take you along for the journey. So let me bring you in, show you a little closer. I have my tractor sitting off to the side with my bucket on it. I'm just going to put my turmeric in the bucket of my tractor and take it over behind my shop where I can wash and clean it up and then prepare it for storage. So anyway, let me just show you what we got going on. Let's see what kind of harvest we get. So I've got my trusted digging fork here. First opportunity I get to use this. I just bought a brand new digging fork. And so next year, these are all going to be planted in a raised bed, which will be much easier to pull out. Not really sure what to expect, so I have a digging fork just to get them out of the ground. Thought at first I might try to pull on one and see what happens. So let's try that first. Well, you can clearly see that by pulling on it, it broke it off. So there's some still in the ground for sure. Overall, not bad though. Well, let's see what we left in the ground. Here's one little piece. There's another even bigger piece. So it looks like that's all. Looks like there was just two pieces left in there. And as you can see, I pulled up my water line too, but I'm not worried about jabbing it because I'm not going to be using that water line anymore next season. I'll be replacing it. So let's see what happens if we just dig one up with a fork to start with. You can see that massive clump of dirt that came out with it. But let's clean it up and see. Man, would you look at that? That's a whole bunch of rhizomes there. Man, all right. I hope the whole harvest goes like that. Clearly digging it with the fork, I got it all out in one motion without breaking it off, so that was good. Let's see if we can do that again. That is another rock solid grouping of rhizomes. All right, well, there you have it. I've pulled all 21 turmeric plants, and they came out just fine. When I was using the fork, I made sure I got back from them about 6-8 inches so that I wasn't necessarily digging into the rhizome ball itself. Every once in a while, I could hear when I was digging them and pulling them out, one crack off in the ground. So that's kind of maybe a small tip there, is when you're getting them out, if you hear something crack, that means probably left a piece in there. Because if you leave a piece in the ground, I mean, it's no big deal, but if you leave one in the ground, it's going to start regrowing again next season. So, because that's one thing about turmeric. Turmeric is, I bought it once, and realistically, I should be able to replant and harvest for life. And I'm going to take them over to my shop and I'm going to wash them, and then we'll break them apart, cut the leaves off, dry them out. And once you dry them out, it's just a matter of storage and then replant. Keeping them stored in a cool, dry place. And yeah, so it's, turmeric's pretty pretty easy to deal with apparently. Again, this is my first season growing it. It took me realistically 20-ish minutes to pull those plants. So 21 plants, I was doing about a minute a plant. It wasn't no big deal getting it out of my ground. I couldn't have pulled them straight out. My ground's a little harder than that, but in a raised bed, it's likely you could just pull them straight out. But either way, let's take them over to the shop. Let's get them washed up and take a look at the actual root balls, the rhizome balls, and we'll discuss it further. All right, here we are at my little wash station behind my shop. You can see my camera, yeah. You can't see the camera, I'm filming through it. You can see the tractor in the corner of the shop where I just have all my turmeric. So we're gonna wash them up, cut the leaves off, break them apart, and then kind of just clean them up thoroughly, and then we'll set them aside to dry out, and then we'll store them. So let's just get at it. All right, quick note to self: when you put your hose on jet stream, don't be so close that it splashes mud all back in your face. Yeah, that just happened. Anyways, so let's just take our harvest knife and kind of get these greens off. If you got chickens or other farm animals, certainly give the greens to them. They'd love them. All right. Well, you can see the main rhizome where I cut the greens off. That was the mother rhizome that I planted. And now we're just going to break these off. All right. All right, let's finish washing these up. All right, so let's talk about a few things. First of all, I planted one piece of turmeric, which became the mother plant. As you can see, all these roots. You can certainly just replant that. In fact, I could go over there and replant it right now if I had a place to put it, but I don't have currently the raised bed that it's going to go in just yet. So I'm going to just set it aside as well. But you can just technically replant this immediately, and this would grow another plant. But off of that one mother plant, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pieces. And technically speaking, something like this here, it's got these rhizomes here, and if you break them apart, they can easily grow other plants. So in other words, that now is a plant, and so is this. I could even do it again here. All of these could be replanted for plants if that's what you want to do as far as replanting. That much I do know about turmeric. Same thing goes with this. I could break off any one of these that has a nodule on it. Same thing with this. And when I go to replant this early spring, I may do just that. Otherwise, we're going to set these aside. We're going to let them dry and then set them aside and store them in a cool, dry place. And then when we're ready, we can grind them up into turmeric powder or seasoning or for medicinal purposes, whatever you want to do. Now, I do have a question for y'all in the chat for those who have grown turmeric before and are more turmeric aficionados. This one piece here that's all brown, honestly, this piece looks bad to me. This piece looks rot. I need to know in the comments, is this piece viable and it just looks that way? Or is it in fact rot and not any good at all? So please let me know your thoughts and your comments. Give me an answer. But you can easily see how planting one turmeric plant, or one turmeric piece rather, has developed into at least 10, possibly more plants I could replant next year to expand my turmeric harvest, which I obviously will do throughout, doing all of these plants when I get them all said and done to see how much I have. So once I know how much I have, I'll know how much I want to hold back, because clearly they'll grow well here, not a problem. So yeah, so let me go ahead and set these aside and we'll carry on into getting the rest of them done. So this one piece that gets very dark and almost looks rot to me, it must be pretty common, I guess, because it looks like there's one per plant that looks exactly like that. Is that part of the original rhizome that I planted? Do you know? Please let me know that in the comments as well. And if so, is it any good? Just curious. All right. Well, I finally got all these washed up, separated, rewashed, so they're pretty thoroughly cleaned up. That took a minute, let me just tell you. I've got it all spread out here on a screen that I put into a frame. It's just a piece of window screen material I ordered from Amazon, and I just made a frame and did that so I have a drying area. I've done this for like sweet potatoes, onions, garlic, this kind of thing. I need to make some more of these. Over here, and I'm going to show you just a little bit closer so you get a better idea. I actually separated out what would have been my initial buy. So let me just show you real quick what I mean, and I'll talk to you about where I bought, how much I got, and I actually used my farmer's market scale to weigh it out too. But let me show you a little closer the results. All right, so right here you see what represents 1 pound of turmeric. This is how I bought my turmeric initially. So basically it was $18 plus tax. So my turmeric uh, planting career, if you will, started with, let's just call it $20. And this represents, like I said, 1 pound of turmeric. This happens to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different pieces of turmeric, which I then broke down further, which gave me my initial 21 plants. So like I said, this represents 1 pound of turmeric that I had turned into 21 turmeric plants, and I harvested 21 turmeric plants. So what is the result? So everything on this screen is above and beyond that 1 pound. So what you see on this screen is 19 pounds of turmeric. Again, I used my fruit and vegetable scale for my farmer's market to weigh it all out. I wanted to know, that's how I separated out to 1 pound. So I planted 1 pound, 21 plants. It yielded 19 additional pounds of turmeric. So that's a 19-to-1 ratio. That is an awesome, awesome harvest, if you ask me. I'm sure people have done better. To be honest, I planted this a little later because I didn't get my turmeric till a little later. I could have let them grow longer in the ground. They hadn't really fully dried out and died over, which you can let them do. So the point being is, who knows exactly how much I could have harvested, if I could have harvested any more at all. You can actually leave these plants in the ground year round and basically harvest them every 9 to 10 months. And then basically just take them and replant whatever you want to replant almost, well, immediately. Especially if you use like pieces like I said, which is the rhizome I planted, which kind of sort of equals the mother plant that all the other rhizomes derived off of. You can plant those back immediately, or you can just keep them in a cool, dry place. Keep them a little moist from time to time, and you can replant them whenever. I probably won't replant these till beginning of March, when I should have more of my raised beds ready, which is where these will remain and I'll grow out more. So a 19-to-1 yield, I consider that pretty fabulous. Let me know y'all's results of growing turmeric. What kind of yields do y'all get? How long do y'all leave them in the ground? Do you wait till the leaves die over and dry out? I don't even know when that would have been. Like I said, today is November 24th. We just did have our first light frost last night. Right now, obviously, you see it's mid-afternoon. I've already taken my jacket off, my flannel shirt off, and I'm back in a t-shirt and shorts the way I always am. I don't even know what it is. I think it's high 60s right now. But yeah, so anyway, I really appreciate you sticking with me through this video. This is a new adventure for us here on the farm of growing turmeric. I consider it a win and a success. Let me know y'all's thoughts. And if I could, please, so humbly ask if y'all would go ahead and like, subscribe, and share this video. I'd be most appreciative. Hit that bell notification to get notified when we bring out more videos. Got plenty more coming up, including all the changes we're making on the farm, doing raised rows and raised beds and some additional plantings through through this winter season, some onions and cabbages and lettuces and all kinds of stuff that we're still going to be putting in over the winter. So celery, we just got some celery going. So yeah, so I'm just so thrilled and thankful for each one of you. Until next time, take care, God bless, have an amazing day in the Lord, and we'll see you real soon.